Good morning, everybody. All right. How you guys doing? Feeling gray? Yeah, I feel like shit again this morning. I can't get rid of this fucking virus, man. I started to feel a little bit yesterday. Fucking woke up this morning, 102 fever, chills, shitty, all over again. My grandma could recover faster, and she's dead. Yeah, good for her. Not the dead part, but the speedy recovery. Did you take it? Yeah, I took a COVID test. I have RSV. Morning, Jen Jen. Hello, Ghost of Clarence Saunders. So sick and sick of feeling confused about market direction. May the road to health be swift for us all. I don't think market direction's been very confusing for like 35 days now. It's really just gone up. You need Jesus. Gross. I went to New York for literally one day, and now I'm sick too. Haha, get wrecked. I closed my computer Friday prior to close in disgust. Did we really close flat? Yeah, yeah, we did. 46, 70, 60, 70, then 5% mini crash around Christmas. I can see that. Did you end up looking at the Siri merger details to see what it could do to shorts? No. um, I did not. I think it's okay though. The deal doesn't close until the third quarter of 2024, so it sounds like there's going to be plenty of time. Hmm. Have to read that later. That's interesting. Ding ding. So just going right to the top of the call interest at market open. Let me take a look at. Is that looking? Oh, NQ. Interesting. All right. My forefathers told me of a day where we don't gap up in the morning. Yeah. What did they tell you about it? Baba's smashing right through risk. Uh, has it? It's at risk. It's not smashing through it. HSI had a kind of a rough night. Uh, Maybe it's possible that the shipping protests might be weighing down on it. Just wait for a better entry. Protests, blockades. Well, they're not really blockades. The route's protected. More like protests. So pullback or straight up? We could go up to like 74.40. I'm sorry, 47.40. Surely we won't make a new trading range today. Back to 20, please. I mean, there's not much range to be made to the upside anyway. There's only like 70 BPS of room up there. Yeah, still sick, Billy. Thanks for asking. Another day, another gap up to leave behind. Well, this is actually kind of the more bearish scenario is that we move up in the early part of the day and then call side capitulation drags us back down. Right now, most of the 0 DTE calls are in the money, so I think there's a little bit of room up to 40, and then it runs into some pretty serious resistance around 45, 47.50. This all dies tonight when Japan fucks the pumpers. We'll see. Japan might be getting ready to fuck somebody. Probably us. Yeah, volatility is getting unpinned a little bit, so I expect we'll see them push back against that. Yields moving up. The 30 years up 1.3%. Let's see. There were some pre-market Fed speakers. What did they say? Mester said markets are a bit ahead of central bank on rate cuts. The next phase is not when to cut rates, even though that's where the markets are at. The next phase is about how long we need to do not monetary policy to remain restrictive. Goolsby, I've seen a significant improvement on inflation. That's reflected in the SEP projections. If we get inflation back into the range of the dual mandate, we have more symmetric concerns. I was confused a bit with the market reaction. There seems some confusion in the markets to how the FOMC actually works. There's no contradiction between what Fed Williams and Fed Chair Powell said over the last week. If we keep getting improvements on the supply side and improvements in labor force participation, then the economy doesn't have to weaken for inflation to come down. Blah, blah, blah. I'm prepared to adjust policy in case of external shock. All right. So Goolsby's still being dovish. Looks like everyone else is being a little bit more hawkish. Anything interesting in Asia? Meh. Nope. Let's see. At 10 o'clock, we have data. We have NHAB Housing Market Index, which is forecast to come in up against the prior 34 at 37. Happy Monday, Lord of Nork. Should we make a new trading range today? Back to 20, please. Maybe not a new range, but we might revisit the upper range. Looks like momentum's stalling out a bit here. At least starting to. Ooh. All that liquidity this morning and GME moved up a little. Interesting. Russell bounced back. All right. NQ starting to slip a little bit. How's ES looking? ES kind of looking like it's going to retest 47.90. Or try. A lot of volume there. All right. You couldn't listen last night. Do you have a recap for me on SPX going into end of week? No? Market had a fun first candle, and now it's extremely boring. Yeah, it's not that interesting. Cat better not be right about flat all week. There's a chance he is. I don't think so. Vol's still moving up. VIX futures just turned positive. Spot Vol's up. So I think that might be a good sign of things to come. Premium on risk for S&P 500 is finally gotten to where I feel comfortable going long. Happy Monday, everybody, especially to those of you who forgot they had shares in X, like me. Shout out to Japan. Y'all are the real ones. Congratulations, Booth. If Japan does nothing tonight, do we see Gamma Max and pullback or no pullback still? If Japan does nothing tonight? I don't know. I guess we'll see how today shakes out. We could end up pretty far away from Gamma Max today, depending on call side capitulation and vol here. Remember, if vol becomes unpinned, the market maker's just long a shitload of puts, right? Do you think JPOW would get prior knowledge if Japan did intend on raising tonight? Yeah, very possible. Not only that might be the reason that they put the oh they extended the repo facility to god damn it, what's the name of that bank? The Japanese bank last Friday. I can't remember the fucking name of it. I haven't been awake very long. It's a pickle bank. I don't have a Japanese bank. It's ridiculous. It's Norinchukin. You doing JPower Eskimo Brothers after all? Always have been. Here comes the first dip buy of the day. Are you sure about that? I don't know. Hmm. Put interest is ramping up quite a bit. Upstart's already above Gamma Max, so who the fuck knows? I mean, it looks like it's just retesting its prior high. I think that's about 15% higher than GM, so not a lot of room to run. Well, I guess it is OPEC settlement, so maybe there's something to that. Thanks, you estimated profit. You too, man. The US Fed is backstopping a Japanese bank, or is Japan saving Japan Bank? No, US Fed backstopping a Japanese bank. Sold or bought puts? They look bought. It's like 47, 20, 15. Maybe a little bit at 25. Is that not really strange for the US Fed to back a Japanese bank? Why? The Japanese bank in question is full of US treasuries. Why can't Japan backstop their own banks? That's cute. I felt better yesterday, but I feel sick again today. So let's fucking go. Fed bails out the entire world, all-time high. Yeah, I'm not. Well, this isn't like the like BTF fucking L or whatever it is. The short-term lending program. This is like in the event of a failure. So it doesn't provide like short-term liquidity. It seems insane to bail out a bank in a different country. Ah, it's not that crazy. I mean, they haven't bailed them out. It's just in case something happens, they can step in and help them. SPX up, VIX up, my peener down. Is SLD done now as of market open? Yeah. Maybe it's a threat. It'd be a shame if something happened to your nice Japanese bank. Interesting. Like a veiled threat from the Fed. Like, we're gonna come in and support your bank so hard with liquidity after we destroy it. I think you're just sick of the market's bullshit. No, I love the market's bullshit. You're the one that acts like you're sick of the market's bullshit. Kenny is taunting me. Yeah. US Steel News, buyout Japanese steel company. Japan going hard lately. Oh, I am. It's a very interesting dynamic. So NQ's failing, or starting to fail. ES is still holding up. How's Apple doing? Apple's down big today. Amazon up. I kind of expected that. AMD flat. Meta up a lot. Microsoft's still kind of creeping down. Netflix big bounce. Nvidia up. Tesla up. Ooh, interesting. QQQ slightly underwater. RSP is down. What the fuck is floating this? There's no breadth and tech is failing. I guess NQ's still up, even though QQQ's down. Gherkin will lose all his shares of what? I like how Japan is buying U.S. steel when U.S. steel sold Japanese-made beams of steel. I think they'd still probably be made in the U.S. What's everybody on your access list getting this year? Vega puts. About 42 calls on U.S. steel for next. They're up 1,300%. Okay, cool. Sounds like you made a bunch of money. Any clue why GME is ripping? I mean, it's up like 90 cents. Oh, it's $1. I don't know. Could be short calls getting pulled back. Could be just after the expiration, puts falling off. It's a strong move. Market open. It still appears to be very liquid, though. IWM's not really ripping, but it did bounce back. Which, I mean, Jimmy's not in IWM. It's in R1K, which might be performing well. I have no idea. How do I go long Vana? Short dated, out of the money options. Did you see crude this morning after the BP news? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah, oil prices are starting to move up pretty hard. Sorry if this was already asked, but what's GME's Gamma Max today? It should be in the daily DD. Okay, that looks kind of bearish. As does that. That does not look bearish yet. Still a lot of call buying, despite the fact that everything kind of looks like shit. Yen moving up a lot. The fuck? Percent 25. That's still moving up. Let's see. Vol keeps ticking up just a little bit at a time. Vol picking up for a move down. It's starting to kind of collapse the MM spread. It's not. It hasn't moved up enough yet, but it's starting to move up. NQ just got a big fat pump. Jimmy OPEXing? No. They're definitely shorting into it. They should have plenty of liquidity right now. Ooh, Russell 1000 gapped up pretty hard this morning. Yeah, that might be part of it. It might just be index based. It doesn't look like there's any covering going on GME, so maybe just like it might just be like FTDs or rollover from the puts closing on Friday. How did beyond tips look? Kind of flat. Although it is up a bit this morning. It regained $10, which is a big deal. Upstart broke through the high of last week. Okay. Gamma max on Upstart's at 42. So that's about 15% at like I don't know what, 48.3. A little bit of delta came off of there. Lost like 10 million in charm. Eh. It could still have a little more range. Maybe another dollar or so. Beyond that, I mean, I have no idea, but option flows look bearish as heck. What's holding this up? 47.25 and 20 calls, largely. It's trying to get more call selling on in the money positions, like the 47.15 is pretty dead. They're buying a lot of at and in the money calls though. Especially the 25 and 30. There's some put selling. Alright. Things might get a little more bearish after this test. 35, maybe test 40. I think they're still trying to push for 40. Is 15% above GM based on anything mechanical or just empirical evidence? There is technically a mechanical effect. Like there's a reason that it's so precise besides just empirical evidence, but I'm not really going to get into the mechanics of it. NHAB housing market index 37. Okay. Well, that's better than expected, right? By one. Let's see if that's good for another $4. Is the downside gap fill too far fetched? No, I don't think so. But I think it's definitely possible that we blow out the rest of the calls on the chain before we move down. And then the bulls can just rug pull themselves, taking profits. There's not the benefit here is there's not a ton of upside left. I mean the Gamma Max is at 47.66 on SPX. That should present, if not an extremely strong resistance, a hard cap to the upside. So my new plan is anytime upstrike gets below $22, I'll just buy $10 out of the money leaps and wait. Okay. It's a fun plan. That wouldn't have gone well for you in 2022, but I think people playing Upstart right now are insane. You're playing it for like $4 moves, taking just shitloads of risk, buying overpriced options. You see the call options on GME for Jan 19, tons of OI. Most of those are sold. No, I don't think there was really enough call interest to drive us up to Gamma Max today. There's a big wall of sold calls at 47.50. And then like the long call interest kind of dies off at 47.40. So quite a lot of resistance between 47.45, 47.50. But I'd still want to see us break 40 before we saw any significant capitulation. We've seen a little bit of like deep in the money calls sell off, but nothing really near the money yet. What does VIX need to hit for MMs to let Jesus take the wheel? Uh, definitely needs to go higher. I would say that we need to see like a 1% move higher in vol. So 13.50, 14. Are we still on both sides of the straddle? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not really a straddle, but it's kind of a straddle. I ended up with one of the legs in the money. Ask GME a question. Realistically, in your opinion, does GME hit anywhere close to 25.30 in the next 2 to 3 years? I mean, it could. I don't know what he's gonna do in the next 2 to 3 years. That's a very long window. It's definitely not outside of the realm of possibility. I have no intention of sitting around and waiting for it, but you can if you want to. No problem. Boop. That dude should rethink his framing and ask if he can make more money with that same capital invested elsewhere. I mean, he might not. Right? He could just lose that capital elsewhere. How much money do these bulls get from pushing SPX into their calls? Is it ultra profitable or just kind of meh? It only works because river dry. I mean it's somewhat profitable, otherwise they wouldn't keep doing it. It has diminishing returns, so I mean, you know, on the 13% move up, obviously very fucking profitable. Now, less so. Doubt what? Middle Western consumer sentiment rep. Hmm. 17% what? You can't just say 17%. There's nothing else. $18%. Okay. What the fuck is going on with QQQ? Dude, NQ going for that 16.9 test. QQQ smoking that good stuff. Apparently. I guess we decided what's moving the market today. Except it's not Apple. Yeah, Amazon's running really hard. Meta's up a good amount. Microsoft's kind of clawing back to positive. Nvidia's still doing really well. Tesla's up. What about 8 Broadcom? What's Broadcom doing? I was made Broadcom a pickles pick last night, and then I realized that our data on Broadcom hadn't been updated since November of 2022. I was looking at Gamma Max. I was like, all right, so it's like $513. And I looked at AVGO. It was $1,100, and I was like, that seems off. What's the new oscillator in the Beyond chart in the daily? It's just a different representation of liquidity. That one's well, you know, the tips aren't actually liquidity, but that one is actually liquidity. Was this our Santa rally? No, I don't think so. Santa rallies happen after Christmas. That's why it's called a Santa rally. So if we were gonna have a Santa rally, it would be next week. Do you believe in the Grinch sell-off? I think we're closer to a sell-off than we are to another rally, but we'll see how that goes. If we cross 4740, are we gonna touch 65? No, I think if we cross 40, we'd just get rejected. As a matter of fact, we may just be getting rejected here. I really need VIX futures to move up. Oh, there we go. Haha. Nope, gone. This is the 6th week I've gone long VIX futures on Friday, and this is the only time it hasn't printed immediately. It's right on the cusp of me making money. It's just not there yet. Can you detail what constitutes a Mike O'Malley rally? O'Malley the alley cat? Thoughts on a firm this morning? Well, it went down hard, which is pretty cool. And bounced back a good chunk of that. I might wait till this finds a top here before entering. I still haven't bought into it, obviously. It looks like it might be topping out or getting close to topping out. I'm still bearish on it. I'm not. That's a hell of a bounce. I don't know. You might if it keeps bouncing, look for entries nearer risk. If it starts to turn around, there you go. Is Beyond out of liquidity? No, no. Jimmy was going burr. Oh, now it's largely stopped going burr. Why in the world is GME up 5%? Well, R2K gapped up into market open, or R1K gapped up into market open. So mid caps are doing pretty well today. And then also puts falling off and covered calls falling off last Friday. Probably opened up a little bit of upside. It's still, GME's still super liquid though. Can you fill me on what this is? I'm hearing about a foreign bank being backstopped by the Fed. That's correct. Did you enter a Baba position? Not yet, no. I'm waiting on Baba. The shipping getting cut off in the Suez Canal is not good for them, right? Big e-commerce. So, and that news has been kind of proliferating all morning. I think I'm gonna wait, maybe a day. I might wait a day on it, or maybe something later this afternoon. Morgan Stanley downgraded a firm from 20 to 15. Nice. Yeah, they did that in the pre-market. That's why it opened so low, but it's bouncing now, right? So I don't want to go short just yet because there's a lot of call interest at 45, but if it fails to bounce back to 45, then I'll look to pick up my short positions. How many deep in the money my weekly beyond 12Cs are going to get? Sounds like probably not at all. Baba 2026 leaps? No, no. I just wanted like a couple weeks of exposure. Call interest was starting to turn around on it, and it was picking up a little bit of upside momentum. But now it's this morning it's fallen back to delta neutral. It's still above it, but barely. So I'm gonna wait till it gets a little distance above delta neutral again before going long. Is the confirmation of a fail here losing 47.35 or 30? 30. 30.25 have far more interest than 35. How many wieners have you seen in person? You're talking about hot dogs or penises? Any interesting play with Nikola? Not one I'm interested in. Baba Divvy 1220. That's still a couple days out. It's only like $1. You know that, right? MQ blasting through 16.9. Oh, did it make it? Yep, there it goes. Actually fucking nuts. Yeah, Baba has a dividend on the 20th. It's like $1 a share. But if shorts don't want to pay that, they'd cover it before the dividend, right? Do I understand that it's right that you expect this to fail? No, but I think if we move up high enough, it could. So if we move up and test 47.40 and then continue to get in the money call capitulation, it can fail. But we could also very much just end up flat today, right? Like we could just get hung up at 47.20.25 for the remainder of the day. I haven't even closed the call side of my straddle yet. I probably should. I guess I get stopped out of it if it falls below the 20 EMA here. Have you seen an inordinate amount of hot dog wieners? I mean, hot dogs are sometimes referred to as wieners, so I was just trying to figure out what you were talking about. And to answer your original question, plenty. But more than I've ever wanted to. You see full frontal nudity pretty often in New York City if you live here a long time. Do you think it's likely SCX hangs around 4,700 or higher till mid 2024? I hope not. Are people looking to be right, or are you looking to make some money? Yeah, I don't know what people want. I said it when we were at 25 that we could test 40, so You'd think people would just be taking profit on calls now, but I never know what people are up to. Sometimes we're at like 25 and I'm like, we can go to 40, and then maybe the call side will collapse and they're like, time to buy 4700s. I think NQ is actually a spaceship. NQ's looks like it's having a bit of a blow off. I want you to take your shirt off. Not today. You can tune in tomorrow, Grim 2. Maybe you'll have a better chance then. How many hot dogs could you fit in your mouth at once? If you were looking to max out, I think you could get 8. I've never tried. I don't want that much hot dog meat in my mouth ever.